Good morning, good morning, good morning. We were just saying to everyone, we're ready.
Yes, we are.
Yes. And we're early.
Yes, we
We're
are.
early
Today.
and we're ready.
Yes, lots to talk about.
Morning.
Yes.
So it's gone very cool
Yeah.
this morning, and I don't mean in the sort of the more streetwise
Oh,
sense.
you're talking about me, yeah?
No. I'm talking about the temperature.
Very cool. Okay.
And Dr. Steven, he's got a cold this morning.
Yeah.
How has Dr. Steven got?
I need a doctor this morning, Ian.
How has Dr. Steven got a cold this morning?
Oh no, it's the change of weather because it's very cool this morning. Very, very cool.
It's very cool this morning, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's very cool.
No,
It's like 15
In fact-
degrees cooler than...
yeah, what we're used to. Yeah.
Just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, we always talk about the weather in Britain.
We're terribly British.
It's one of the few things that alters in our lives apart from...
Yes, true indeed.
Oh no.
So we like to discuss the weather.
We certainly do, don't we?
Over a spot of tea, yes.
With a spot of tea in the afternoons, and then
Crumpets.
we're wondering what the weather's going to be like.
Oh. Anyway,
It's been quite a busy 24 hours.
sure has.
Sure has.
The government has disappeared. we are now,
We're not
folks.
supposed to laugh.
We are now, folks, in a state of anarchy in Britain.
We are. So the EU are mocking us now.
No, they are. Did you hear their headlines?
Yeah. The tweet that he put out, the head of the EU,
What did he say?
he actually said, basically, they've created a mess, meaning the ones that resigned.
Yeah.
But the mess stays.
Yeah.
Even though they're gone.
Yeah,
So
they
hopefully
are.
there'll be no
We're
Brexit.
our laughing stock this
So
morning.
now
We are the laughing
I think
stock
we're
of
worse
Europe.
than Trump now.
We are the laughing stock of Europe.
Yeah.
I listen to all the things, and we've been discussing this for probably 2 years now. And when just weeks after Brexit happened, and I was in the Foreign Commonwealth Office, and really they were saying they had no idea at that time what to do. There had been no direction, and 2 years on, if I walked in there today, they'd be saying they've no idea.
No.
2 years time, no idea.
Exactly. And it's supposed to be what?
And
2019?
they are supposed to be the people who do know.
It's frightening, actually, that these people, our lives are in their hands.
God, that's a TV program.
Well, there's been one replacement so far.
Yeah.
For Boris Johnson.
they've
Boris, yeah.
replaced them both.
Oh, have they? I know
Yeah.
Boris got replaced.
There were 3 ministers resigned
Yeah.
yesterday. She's replaced them all, which is great, if I'm in all honesty, I'm not a Boris Johnson supporter. David Davis, I think I might have a bit more time for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what's going to happen to Liam Fox next, because he's the next one. He's the one that's supposed to be putting all the businesses together, supposedly.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what his perspective is. I noticed he has kept a very low profile in the past 24
If
hours.
we were in the Conservative Party, I think all of us would be hiding right now too.
Yeah,
Because
most
I
definitely.
just don't think they know what they're doing anymore.
They've lost focus. There's no leadership, is there?
and how they expected it to go, it hasn't gone.
No.
So
Not at all.
there's no contingency. Okay, if it goes pear-shaped, we can do this. It's like, we're going to do this. That hasn't worked. It's like, okay, now everyone's looking at each other and blaming each other and fighting amongst each other and then quitting and resigning.
Yeah, right. That's such an important thing as Brexit. Everyone should be together here. They should all be, making decisions about what's going to happen to the country. It's
totally
so
agree.
divided, isn't it?
It's so totally divided. However, I'm squeaking this morning. I've got a squeaky part of my chair this morning.
Oh, I thought you meant, okay. So just if there's any smells...
No, I'm squeaking.
Right, okay.
I'm squeaking this morning, squeaking away on this thing. So, Prince Louis. Prince Louis was baptised yesterday, and he looked the part, didn't he?
He did. Kate looked the part as well.
And I think he was fast asleep the whole time,
Wise young boy.
And Kate was looking very good, and Meghan, I noticed, was there as well.
Yes, she was. She looked very elegant.
She looked very elegant, and everybody's watching to see how things might be developing at the moment. There'll be some very interesting thoughts on that before too long, no doubt. And you know, I wish them all the best because, again, from what I understand, it's proposed that the four of them, in other words, William and Kate, Harry and Meghan, are going to really be the front of the plane to go around the world to encourage countries to come to visit Britain and to create business with Britain.
Yeah, they're heading up the Commonwealth as
But
well,
that's
aren't
been a success.
Yeah.
You know, the Commonwealth tour, doing all the
It has,
planting their trees. That's
they? It has. That went down very well.
And Charles is will be doing his bit as well. So I think it's going to be a very interesting time at the moment. You know, but the thing I think we notice, you know, I hope for people of colour it's going to be a proper, you know, success story as well, because the thing again is, look what happened to Windrush. Windrush still hasn't been really
Hasn't been resolved
hasn't
completely.
been resolved at all by
just
any
hushed
means.
it a little bit
Yeah.
to try and calm.
You know, so there's been no resolution on that in reality, I don't think. There's still so many people who have been affected by Brexit and Windrush, I should say, and by Brexit. And I think, you know, the reality these days is that, you know, you've got to create this society. You know, what Cameron was talking about was the big society at one stage, and that was his sort of big promise. But where is it right now? Because, you know, again, I still feel that, personally, I think the Brexit vote was a vote against more people from Eastern Europe coming in.
Basically, it was a lack of understanding.
Yeah.
People voted not knowing what they're actually voting for.
No.
Because when you ask people why are you voting for Brexit or what's the reason,
They don't actually fully understand the
It was a fear factor, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, things like tens of thousands of people queuing up on that infamous, you know, adverts that Nigel Farage created.
oh Lord,
No, let's not talk about Farage.
I mean, and strange enough, where's he?
Oh,
he's on the beach.
Of course.
He's living life.
Where's he?
Like I said, I did my job. I've done my duty.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
Yeah. And that's what
So
he's done. That's what he's done.
Oh, he went to meet Trump. And that was about it.
You wonder. And you notice the way he was saying it was that in reality, you know, if Trump wants to see me whilst he's over here, you know, I'm available. It was his sort of phrase that he used himself. And no doubt, you know, by a sheer coincidence, he'll probably be golfing in Scotland this week.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, and the only handicap he's got is his mouth, I think, you know, a lot of the time, I think, you know, because what comes out of it half the time bears no real resemblance to what people in Britain, I think, want today. You know, I really don't think so. But anyway, that's besides the point. England.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a big day, right?
Oh, but actually, there's been some breaking news in regards to football.
Not a leg.
Thankfully, no. So there's no injuries, thank
Okay.
God. But the Croatian manager has been sacked today
Oh, why?
because he put out a video, which was politically charged, and it was kind of not in line with the team. He's managing Croatia. It was about the Ukraine, and it was all political views, and they didn't feel it was sufficient or appropriate, and they actually said to him, he's been sent home from Russia today. So Croatia are going to the match with England tomorrow with no manager.
With no manager.
Over Facebook. See, Facebook. It was a video on Facebook.
This reminds me. It's starting to become quite biblical. I think. This is like Moses and the parting of the Red Sea at the moment, isn't it? Because
You know what? You're so right.
everything. You know, it's like you know, all the teams have disappeared.
Yep.
You know, there's this nicely swept path.
What is going on?
It's crazy, and it's the manner of the way they're doing things. It's when Spain manager he got offered a job at Real Madrid. They were like, "You got a Real Madrid? Okay, bye." They kicked him out the door. And Spain suffered.
It's very
So,
ruthless,
it's-
isn't it?
It's very.
It's meant to be a fun thing, football.
fun.
Obviously, it's a
Business
business.
first.
It's a business first. Yeah, that's
And
evident.
the cave children. the football team.
Do you know what?
So
Yeah.
overnight, it's got to 8 children.
I
now
know.
out.
I was so
This
pleased.
morning was 4, and
Yeah.
the teacher. So hopefully by now they've removed them all, but they said they can do it today.
Yeah, I really hope this, I just want to see them come out well.
Well,
I
one
don't
by
know
one
how
they're
they-
coming out. There has been one fatality. One of the army guys died.
Apparently.
But
He was volunteering, wasn't he, to help, and he
but
died.
he was trying. But he didn't die in vain. He was doing a good cause. I feel sorry for his family, and I feel sorry for everyone that knows him.
Yeah.
But he wasn't reckless. He was trying to do good,
Yeah.
and his life
Absolutely.
went forward.
Yeah.
Now,
Condolences.
probably the strangest hot weather storm, I'm not quite sure how to say this, so that it fits within the guidelines of the channel. The strangest story I heard this week is that obviously right now a lot of people are sunbathing. It's hot, people are in their garden and so forth. And apparently there's been quite a few people who are not wearing any clothes at all in their gardens. So now the Metropolitan Police have made out a statement saying that they're getting fed up with getting called by next door neighbours to ask the people without clothes,
Yes.
could they tell them beforehand what they're going to do, so that they can hide their children away or something.
Yeah, it's got quite bad actually, because I mean people are even sort of saying, "Hello neighbour," and they're, undressing, "Hello," and I'm thinking, oh my god, they don't see anything wrong with that. And I mean, there's lots of people with children, like
We're
you
in a
say.
society now where everyone likes to expose themselves.
I suppose it's a form of expression.
So in amongst the rhododendrons this week, we could find us some, but it's just, I mean, how do you actually approach it? It was my thought, is that the police are saying, can you warn your neighbours? So do you slip a letter through their letterbox to sort of say, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go, what's the word, commando or something.
Oh no.
At 8 o'clock, so could you please make sure that you cover up, because I'll be in my kitchen.
It reminds me of this story years ago that 1997 there was this terrible storm, and this was the time when all the trees were blown down in Britain. There was these terrible storms. No one predicted it beforehand, and no one was expecting it. And the story that I was then sent out to do was this poor man who had decided that in the middle of this storm he'd lost his electricity. And so he'd gone down to the garage in his pajamas to actually fill up some storm lamps. And in the process, he'd actually set light to himself as well.
No, I'm not laughing.
And this is a true story.
Sorry, viewers, okay?
This is a true story.
See, now Ian's
It's the
laughing.
way Ian's saying it. It's his delivery, people.
I'm not laughing at the story, guys.
So he then rang the ambulance and said, "Look, I've set fire to myself." He said the best thing to do is to go and stand out in the wet and the cold so that your skin won't dry up during this thing. And it was just, I was just thinking about, you could just imagine their next door neighbours waking up in the middle of the night.
Seeing that.
In the middle of the night, looking out the window, looking at the storm, and all of a sudden there would be the neighbour going like this, totally naked, in the next door garden.
Not a good
Not a vision I'm actually.
No, I really don't want to see this. Shall we find another story?
Yes, I would like to talk about
I just
Donald
thought
Trump.
it was just.
What would you say about Donald Trump?
He, as everyone knows, before presidency, he's been sued a few times by former employees. It's happened again. His former driver of 25 years is now suing him for 3,300 hours of overtime because he's been underpaid, not been paid. Same thing has happened before, and he's gone to court. He's taken it to court, whereas Trump's come out and said basically that he was rubbish and he didn't do his job. Basically he's combated that. So Trump's been sued again by another employee.
Again. Okay.
And there's supposed to be some sort of things floating around this weekend, isn't there? So apparently there's this barrage balloon Not a Farage balloon, Farage. Although it could be a Farage balloon as well.
Okay.
But, you know, they're both full of hot air.
The Americans say the shade.
But the reality is with the barrage balloon, and the barrage balloon is supposed to have Donald Trump's head, and it's supposed to be in, you know, a baby with a nappy.
That's right. That's
Really?
right. Yeah. Apparently, which Sadiq Khan has approved,
As
sanctioned.
approved. Well, he actually paid for it.
He did.
No, he didn't actually. No,
No.
I threw that
But
one in.
he approved.
I actually think that was real.
No,
that was a
it's-
real story.
It's real.
It's a real story.
It's real. But it was. Do you know it was done by crowdfunding?
It wouldn't surprise me, you know. But the other one, which very quickly, because we're going to sort of
Yes,
change
that
off
time
in a
again.
second, is that there's been this lady who from Wisconsin in America, and she thought she saw God walking through the clouds. And there's a video that has got millions of viewers at the moment, and you can actually make out what looks like a person walking through a set of clouds. So it's left up to everyone's imagination whether this is true or not, or what she is actually saying. But I just thought it's one of those sort of strange stories that's strange but true. But now, Dr. Stephen,
That's me.
unfortunately, you can go and have a lie down now in the
Yes.
dark.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
suffering this morning.
Suffering viewers. This
Absolutely.
cold hay fever's killing me.
So, and you will be back next week, because you said yesterday.
He did
I
it.
did. I said see you next week,
See you next week,
and I'm here today.
and
so
you're here today. So, yeah,
what can I say?
what can you say?
Thanks for highlighting that, Ian.
No, not a problem at all. And now we're going to have a break where he covers my head with a paper sack.
Right, we'll see with the
Right, we'll
lovely
see you in a
See you
Eliza.
next week, guys, and I mean it this
Bye.
time.
And we're back.
Yes, we are.
And now I've been given the job of introducing Elizabeth Njie. Eliza Njie. Eliza Njie.
Eliza.
Eliza.
I think you're going to have to clear
Thank
this
you.
up.
Oh.
Can you tell us your name, please?
Eliza Njie.
There you go.
So, you're really trying at the moment to assist young children in Gambia, yes?
Yes.
And what you're telling me is that a lot of children in the Gambia have to do all sorts of jobs before they go to school,
Yeah.
and then they have to walk to school, and they are very, very tired. So you have come up with a solution, and the solution
Brilliant.
is
The solution is for us to come up with some bicycles. In that way, it will make it easier for them to access school and on time, and then that will make it for them to be more effective in terms of learning as well, as far as learning is concerned.
So how are you doing this?
We've been speaking to people, and we've tried to send some videos around on our Instagram page and on Facebook page as well, trying to plead people to tell them for them to understand the reason why we're coming up with this whole idea of getting the bicycle and all that. It's a bit challenging because, but we're still positive that we'll get on track.
And how, I mean, let's get this at the outset, how can people contact you if they wish to help?
They can contact us via our Facebook page or via our website.
And
They can send
they,
us an email.
and they are called, what are they called?
It's a Lively Hope Foundation.
A Lively Hope Foundation.
Yeah.
So what actually got you into doing this in the first place? What was the drive behind? Did you see this and you saw it as a problem? Or do you work in the Gambia already?
About some years ago, when I was 15 years old, I started teaching some children in church, and I saw the struggle that they were experiencing in terms of the poverty aspect, in terms of the way they were dressing to come to church. So it has always been a passion that I had, saying that whenever I make it to Europe, I'll make sure I started a foundation that will help to address those issues. I believe education happens to be, just like one professor quote, to be a key to health, a key to wealth. And on that note, I felt education was one of the things I had to use to kind of promote in the Gambia among young children and youth, in order for them to reach to a stage whereby they could at least gain some knowledge that will help them to be self-sufficient at some point in their life, in order to address the issue of poverty. And so when I went last year, I realized from the focus group we walked in and some documentary we had to do, which is on our website in case you want to view it later, we came to realize that there was, in as much as we wanted to promote education, which is the ultimate aim of the Charity Foundation, we felt it would be wise as well for us to kind of address the challenges that affect education at hand. And one of which was what you just spoke about, which is the access to school. And so I felt that, especially for girls that are sometimes harassed on their way going to school, that kind of motivated me all the more to say, you know what, I'm going to kind of put a halt to education aspect, but I need to address this issue by making sure I speak to people who are in the position to kind of help with this bicycle for us to send it to the Gambia.
And what's the education system like in the Gambia? What do you think it's par to, and can it be developed more?
Yeah, it can.
How?
And that brings me now to the other aspect we were looking at, which is to start in the skill center. Because when you look at the standard of education, there's really quite a lot of improvement that needs to be done. Because I remember when I was going to school, I was privileged to be raised up by a mom who was a qualified teacher, so I learned to read at a very early stage, and that kind of helped me big time. Now compared to some kids now at my age, when I was at that age that they're in now, most of them are struggling to learn how to read. And that brings in the other project which Lively Hope is looking at, which is to kind of promote the idea of getting some libraries in schools as well, especially in the villages, whereby kids will be encouraged to learn to read at an early stage, and they can also read outside their syllabus as well, in order to promote and to help the standard of education as well. So there's really, really a lot that needs to be done in that aspect, trust me.
What type of subjects, for the books, for example, what type of subjects are you looking for that will help?
We're looking at the core subjects, that's the maths, the English, the science, and we're also looking at personal development books as well. More or less maybe like entrepreneurship, marketing, and things that will kind of help them to be able to kind of think outside the box.
As well as that, you did tell us earlier that you actually help with homelessness in the UK as well. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, with the homeless, it just started just one day. I just finished from work and I was walking by Seven Sisters and I saw this homeless guy sitting there. And somebody just said to me, hey, give him something. And I checked my purse, but I didn't have any money with me. So for some reason, I never used to care because I always felt I had myself first before anybody else. So I was like, well, you know what? And then within me, there was this voice within that was saying, go back and I find out whether the guy is going to be there the next day. So I went back and I asked him whether he was going to be there the following day, and he said to me, yes. So I went and then bought some items, provision, bread, water, and fruits, and then put it in the bag. So as I was leaving Tesco, there was another lady that was sitting at the entrance, and I was like, wow, I didn't have much money. I'm not going to give her money. I'm going to go back in and get her bread and water. And as soon as I handed over the bread and the water, I was just standing just a few steps outside. The way she was eating the bread, I started crying. It was like if she never ate the whole day. And then I said, no wonder that prompting was there. So then I took the train, went to Seven Sisters, and then I met the guy, gave him the items, and then I didn't want him to see who it was that gave it to him. So I stood, there was a tree there, and I stood at the back of the tree, and I saw him. The first thing he took out from the bag was a bottle of water. I couldn't hold my tears. It was so touching. So from then, that was like about 1 year, 6 months ago, I put it on myself to say every month, no matter how small it is, I'll make sure I get gift bags to give to the homeless. So I started on my own though, but with time I couldn't handle the number of people. So then I started texting friends, asking them to donate. So sometimes people could just easily say, hey, I have 3 loaves of bread, or I have a bottle of water.
They would actually donate to you.
Yeah, and some will give me cash as well. I just go to some of the supermarkets and then just buy them, put them in gift bags. So we're planning to do that of this month, this coming Friday. So we do Stratford. Seven Sisters lately have not seen our regular people that we swim with because we've kind of created that bond due to the period of time. Fringsley Park mainly, we go to Euston as well, Manor House, and sometimes Green Lake.
What an amazing thing.
It is amazing, and I think it's a very, very difficult thing to get out of. I mean, I talk a lot about it because I was homeless myself for 2 years. And for 2 years I lived in a car, went through trouble times myself and then lived in a car. And so, I was lucky in one way that I still had means of actually supporting myself at the same time. But I think at times you almost go into the depths of despair as well. And I was very lucky that I support womanhood these days, and I'm a very big feminist. And I think the reality was it was women who actually supported me, who got me out of that sort of situation, that mindset that I was in at the same time. I will always talk to people now to actually inspire them, because it changed my life. It really did. And you can learn how to change your life with things like this at the same time. So the types of things that you do are inspirational. They really are inspirational, and they can, you can move mountains. And I think you can move mountains with kindness.
It's true.
I think that's very, very important, for people. And, people watching out there, if you know someone, it's very sort of similar with loneliness, I think, as well. A lot of these people, especially in the streets, they don't know who to trust. There's a lot of issues going on, in their lives anyway. And so it's a very lonely thing at the same time. And we had a guest on yesterday who, Jade Companionships, that is really designed now to actually work with people over 60s in Britain and stop the loneliness there at the same time. So I think, we do have some very big issues, don't we, to deal with just in Britain. But, well done you, again. So tell us a little bit about the charity.
Just back to the homeless aspect that I just want to share. One evening I just spoke to one of the ladies that drinks at Seven Sisters station. I ended up crying. I didn't cry in her presence, but one thing she said to me was like, Eliza, you know what? She said, I sit here the whole day. No one says hi, not even hi. It's like we don't exist. And that was so touching. So I just wanted to say that to people out there, that sometimes just the hello means a lot.
Just smiling at somebody.
Because people sitting outside, it's not like because some people usually have the concept that, oh, they're there because they want to be there. But sometimes if you're not in their shoes, you tend not to understand why they're there.
Yeah.
And we don't have the right to really judge them because they're there, or because they're homeless, or we feel maybe they're thieves, or maybe they're criminals. Sometimes just that simple hello, you okay? You keep it up. It will be okay. Just that, it means a lot. So I gave her a hug, but just that hug alone meant a lot to her. People around the station were surprised seeing the kind of clothes I had my suit on from work, hugging someone, but they didn't understand why I did that, because she needed that. And I always believe we all have a part to play in life. It's like we're here for a purpose, and unless we identify our purpose, it may be that small. Oh, I love your hair, you look beautiful. That alone could make somebody's day. So it doesn't have to be the money. Sometimes just a bottle of water you could just buy and say, I'm going to give it to someone on the way. It could just it could go a long way. And I always think together we can make a change, we can make the world a better place to live.
And you're trying to do that with your funding. You're trying to raise funds for something in the 4th of August. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, we want to organize a luncheon sale at Brighton on the 4th of August. It's going to be on a Saturday. And the main reason for the luncheon sale is to raise funds for this current the bicycle project we're looking at raising for the Gambia children. Yeah. So it's going to be mainly food and drinks.
So how can people get tickets, and how can they support you?
They can check us on our Facebook page. All the details will be there for them to contact us if they want tickets for the entrance fee.
And just again repeat, the name of your charity and also the name of the Facebook page as well.
It's called A Lively Hope for Children and Youth in Need Foundation. That's how we call it. And so it's the same when it comes to the website as well.
Excellent.
Yes, .org.
Well, thank you so much.
I know.
You're inspirational
she
as
really
usual.
is. You are
you're
really an
inspirational
inspirational
as
lady.
usual.
And
And come on again and tell us more about how you're getting on at the same time.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And
Thanks
folks,
for inviting me.
We're there at that time again.
We're at that time again. So thank you to Dr. Steven and Eliza, and Maria, and Justice, who's our producer, and this young lady sat next to me. And I didn't even have to nudge you this morning for the questions. We were just discussing how we do this in the future.
Yeah.
So everybody have a great day. Enjoy the weather at the moment, wherever you are in the world. And we will see you again next week. And as always, remember, keep on smiling. It makes people wondering what you're smiling about.
Take care.
Bye for now.